trying to do this for the camera.
I don't know
We
that
need to
I'm
bring
gonna
this
get
back.
home.
Did you ever do that before? Back in your... Happy Thursday, everybody.
How great is it to have LA City Section football back on the air on LA36? We're in Harbor City. It's Santa Paula, a visiting squad out of the Southern Section against the Gauchos of Narbonne. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play. Should be a very festive environment here. The Gauchos at home trying to get their first victory of the year. They're 0-4 against a very good Santa Paula team that comes in. The Cardinals are 2-1. We work with Chuck Price. He's been around the block in the city section. He knows all of the teams. Chuck, this can be fun this season.
There's nothing like high school football, especially the LA City section. We've got a national viewing audience tonight with Kirk and Julie Brungard out of Battle Lake, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Daniel Schwartz, Park City, Utah. Danny Irvin in Michigan. It's on. It's LA City football.
You're going to call out all our viewers. It was interesting for this team from Santa Paula. They got stuck behind 2 traffic accidents. That backed up the game a half an hour. It took them 3 hours to get here.
The kids are resilient. The coaches are a wreck because they got to spend 3 hours with those kids on the bus. But the kids, they're ready to go. They're warm, and you can tell they're excited.
So is Sebastian Alcantar, running back, linebacker, extraordinaire for the Cardinals.
Blue collar. He's just on every play. He's in there. He sells out.
Playing both ways, and again, he's terrific on both sides of the ball. On the other side, there's J.J. Vessel, a sophomore quarterback. He's played a running back. He's very versatile. They think he's a dual threat here.
Yeah, he's an absolute athlete. His best years at quarterback are down the road. Tonight's his first real start, and I think he's going to be great. He's an athlete, and you can't teach that. J.J.
Vessel going to try to get it done for the Gauchos. It's the Cardinals. It's the Gauchos. It's prep football. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment. Tonight's LA City Section football game of the week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports medicine and chiropractic. 818-508-6188. Well, there's Apollo Martin. He's our white hat tonight. Narbonne is kicking off to Santa Paula. Again, the Cardinals are 2-1, and the Gauchos are 0-4. But they've been getting more involved in their games and have been close on a couple of occasions. Fans starting to cheer, knowing that the Prince Okponu, will be kicking off. And we are underway in Harbor City. That one's kicked straight out of bounds, so it'll be nice field position for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's almost like just putting it on the ground, making it harder to field, but keeping it in play would do the same thing. It's tough to give the opponents the ball at the 40 to start. 35-yard line.
Opportunity to take a look at Renee Vega, quarterback who's a dual threat. He's thrown for a couple touchdowns. He's run for 4 more scores. Number 3 is outstanding. Alcantar is the big back, and they're going to go to the air early, and it's incomplete. A little bit of a surprise to see the Cardinals go up top. They wanted to hit their favorite receiver, Amari Carveth, 0.
Yeah, they emptied the backfield, and that's surprising. They play right into Narbonne's hands. I think Narbonne's got the edge in terms of secondary and athleticism. I was surprised to see him spread them out.
Second down and 10 for the Cardinals. Cardinals are coached by a good one. You see a little bit of problems with the clock, so that's the reason for the stoppage in play here. Mike Montoya is that head coach, 12th year for the Cardinals. Here's their key players. They tried to target Carveth early. Big of the quarterback, Alcantar, who we talked about on the pregame. Luna and Flores and Ornelas will make a lot of tackles on defense. Key players for Santa Paula. They're trying to rectify the clock, which didn't stop after the incompleted pass.
Now they've got it back in there next to the quarterback. Narbonne's got a deep safety, but they're still playing man across, and they're in a good spot doing that.
Second down and 10. That's Carveth in motion. That one's deflected and nearly intercepted. And you have to like the push up front from the Gauchos.
Yeah, they got some good-sized kids up front. They're super young. I'm really looking forward to seeing those two interior guys. I know Coach Bledsoe said he loves what they give him in terms of a real solid push up front.
We just got to look at 54, John Talimatil. Talimatil is 6'4", 270, getting some looks from the likes of Utah and New Mexico State. Third down and 10. The deep ball is caught. Carveth on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. So going over the top, the long ball to Amari Carveth.
Yeah, it's tough to get critical, but it's the fifth game now. That safety's got to get over there. You can't let that guy have a free run on third and forever. I know that they love the matchup over on the Santa Paula side. They had a really fast back going against the linebacker.
That one really hurts when you have them in third and long like that. Vega is the holder. Cardinals looking to go up 7-0. And the kick is away. And the kick is accurate. Driving it through was Luis Ventura, who's 11 of 13 on the year. Another look at the home run.
Yeah, the safety just doesn't do a good enough job really staying on top of the play and getting over to the hash. A lot more to it's something that they need to do. Getting over to the sidelines, covering the wide guys, really a challenge. They've got to be able to blanket those guys coming up the hash.
7-0 early for the Cardinals. So I guess once they got off the bus, they were refreshed. Remember, it took them 3 hours to get here. They were just happy to breathe some air when they got off the bus.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have about an 8:15 start by the time that bus got here from Santa Paula. But again, you know, the kids are resilient. You give them 10 minutes to warm up and use the boys' room, they're ready to go.
Cole Whitehead will kick off. They have two kickers, both Whitehead and Ventura. They're both good at their trade. We'll see if the Gauchos can respond immediately.
Yeah, Coach Bledsoe has done a great job taking over this program, when he did, how he did, but I've got a lot of faith in what he's doing and the kids that they've got out there. They're going to turn this thing around.
Yeah, Doug's a veteran. In fact, he was an outstanding football player in his heyday at Cal State Northridge when the Matadors had a football program. Now and again is kicked out of bounds. So both kickers guilty of that.
Yeah, maybe we eliminate the kick the rest of the game,
Yeah.
like an all-star game. Give it to them at the 35 and save the time.
Yeah, not a bad idea, is it? So we'll start from the 35-yard line. Let's see if the Gauchos can replicate what the Cardinals did from Santa Paula. By the way, the Santa Paula team, they're no joke. They've won 7 games each of the last 3 years. So this is a test for Narbonne, but they feel they can win. They come in here with confidence, even though their record would not indicate that. And the ground game was shut down early, and a flag comes in as well. Tremendous
Personal
penetration
foul.
again.
Face mask.
Well,
15
now they're
yards.
going to be in
into
midfield
the
on
zone.
that face mask.
March off the 15 yards. Narbonne likes its running backs. 20, Damian Gonzalez. He's very good. And number 25, Jamari Ladd. Fastest player on the team is Ladd. So the ball's out to the 50-yard line, and here come the Gauchos. So that enhances the field position for Narbonne. And again, the penetration is too great. Santa Paula filtering through. No running room at all. Was number 25, Jamari Ladd, who's 5'9" and 170 pounds. There's J.J. Vessel. He's going to have to get it done tonight.
He's going to have to make something happen with his legs. Not a lot of punch on that O-line after 2 plays. For him, I hope they do a little bit better job settling in, pass blocking, at least occupying the guy in front of him.
Vessel calling his own number, and he's cut down.
Yeah, this is his first start as a 10th grader, converted tailback. He's got all the athleticism you'd want. Typically, quarterback's not a position you could hop into in 7 to 12 days.
Nice effort by Flores on the outside, denying the quarterback of the Gauchos. Gale Flores, one of the leading tacklers, came in with 21 stops on the season. 3rd down and long for Narbonne. They need about 13 yards. Little counter play. And running with it is Jay Lewis, number 10, and he's shut down.
Santa Paula does a really nice job stringing it out. They stay on their blocks. They don't let those guys release, and they really keep leverage on the play. He had nowhere to turn up.
Jesse Chavez will drift back and return the punt.
Randy, we're LA City football guys through and through.
We
and only
are.
You and I can look out there and say, wow, what a luxury of having a 270-pound punter.
That's the Prince, and he got it away. He does all their kicking chores. He's got out of bounds. Prince Okponu, 6'1", 285. That's a big young man. And again, pretty good field position for the Cardinals. They'll start their 2nd drive of the evening. They'll start just outside their 20-yard line. Narbonne's going to need to stop here.
I'm thinking about the Prince back there in punt formation on a bad snap.
Wouldn't want to try to tackle him, would you?
Yeah, I just want to see him get that ball. Now I'm fired up to watch Prince play as a lineman. I think that's probably where he's best served in this program. He's a big kid.
So they'll start from the 20-yard line. 23 is Xavier Alcantar. He's in there. There's 3 Alcantar brothers. 21, Sebastian Alcantar is the star running back. Vega rolling to his right. Deflected and caught. Oh, the concentration there was outstanding from Alcantar. Xavier Alcantar. How did he bring that one in?
Well, more importantly than how he brought it in is how that quarterback's able to get around the edge. It's hard to run around a football field in man coverage for 12 seconds. If they're going to chase these kids all over the field, I'd like to see those edges from Narbonne contain.
Well, that's what Rene Vega can do. Again, he's dual threat. So he can do it with the legs or with his arm, and he showcased both there. Vega on the move, climbing the pocket, and a perfect strike downfield to Dominic Meza.
Beautiful pass and catch. Coverage was there. Good pressure off the edge also. That's just a nice quarterback stepping up in the pocket and putting it on the money.
In the secondary, making the stop was Jamari Ladd. Again, these Narbonne young men do a great job playing both sides of the ball. Unfortunately for Narbonne, their numbers are down.
Yeah, you know, coming off of the situation that they had, that's always going to be difficult. I think you need a rock of a coach like Bledsoe to get these kids to buy in and stick with it.
Timeout taken by, I believe, Narbonne, and it is the Gauchos that called the timeout. They want to make sure they get it right on defense.
Yeah, you know, the one thing that I look for as this game goes on and timeouts are called for Narbonne is that they can really start to teach these kids some fundamentals as the game's going on that they're missing. If you give up the edge and you let the quarterback buy 7 seconds, nobody can cover that long. But again, you know, they go into one of the tougher leagues in the city, the Marine League. It's not going to get any easier there. And that's really where you could form a program. Can you take 22 kids, get them to believe in the future, and that the future is now when you play from the snap to the whistle. And I think they're going to get that. Listen, this is a program that's got its work cut out for them, but they're going to get it done. They've got a great administration to support Bledsoe. You know, they got a principal by the name of Andrew Kasek, former coach, administrator, athletic director Yair Sanchez. Randy, they're all on the same team. I expect big things in years to come here.
Yeah, we were talking to the principal, Mr. Kasek, and he is really involved. They want to build this program up. Here's a pass downfield, no good. A near myth. Carvath again, who caught the long touchdown, and he had a step.
Yeah, but the thing about man coverage is if you don't give up and you run with your guy, you're asking a 15-year-old kid to still put the ball on the money. This isn't the NFL. They're going to miss as many times as they hit. You keep running with your guy. You give him a small window. I love that kind of coverage.
It really was pretty good, even though Carvath, who is so swift of foot, the 5'9", 160-pound junior, got loose the first time. A little bit better coverage that time. Vega's pass is a strike. And another big play. Sebastian Mendez, touchdown.
You're going to live and die on man coverage. I'm fine with that. You bump and run, I'm fine with that. But you can't bump and run and let the kid take the post on you. Otherwise, it's pointless. And those are the things that I know Coach Bledsoe will work on. And I think that's a core fundamental. If you can cover and play defense, you can win games.
I give Sebastian Mendez some credit there. He was able to wiggle free and take it the distance. So
no
2 long strikes, 2 touchdown passes for Vega.
No, he's a dynamic quarterback. He puts the ball on the money. His receivers run great routes.
And the PAT is added. And it's a 14-0 game. 2 times they've had it. 2 times it's looked just like this.
He's right there. You know, it's a fundamental here, a fundamental there. It's moving your feet, and it's denying the middle. Use the sideline as a form of double coverage. But you're right. Credit is due to that quarterback because at the end of the day, he's got to put it where that guy's open, and he did.
Yeah, he's been deadly accurate early on for Santa Paula. Yeah, this is a good Santa Paula program, and you know that when they were stuck on that right over here, they were just itching to play some football. Kickoff was backed up, and they got off the bus. And talking to their head coach, Mike Montoya, he said, we're just thrilled to be here. Took 3 hours. It's about 100 miles.
Yeah, they're Santa Paula. That's it's Kirk Brungard country. It's a far ride. We used to think going out that way was like crossing the Mason-Dixon.
Yeah. That's another kick that's
35-yard line.
out of bounds. Seems like to be the popular choice right now for these kickers. We're not going to have any kickoff returns, it looks like.
Oh, I don't think we're quite Herb Street and Fowler because I'm a little too critical, but we need these special teams to be amped up a little bit more. Or we could just give it to them at the 35.
So they'll start from the 35. They did reach out to the 50-yard line before their drive stalled the first time the Gauchos had the ball.
It's a nice opportunity to be out here.
They're the key players, J.J. Vessel. And again, they love that backfield of Ladd and Gonzalez. Maury Polk is a good one, playing both sides of the ball. I love the name. King Leon Sheard, a wide receiver, and John Talley-Mattil, who's the best lineman, and he plays again on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Gauchos, 1st and 10. Vessel on the flare. And again, the closing speed of this defense. And no chance for number 25, Jamari Ladd.
It looks as if Narbonne's going to have success moving the ball tonight. And I think they're going to. They're going to just have to get outside. They're going to have to get to the second level. And a short passing attack is probably what they're going to have to do. The edges for the Santa Paula team are really sturdy. They don't give it up. They're very good at turning ball carriers, quarterbacks inside.
Pickup of 2, 2nd and 8. It's a hard run there. It's refreshing to see those legs churning. That's just a great job of moving the pile. Wonderful job. Damian Gonzalez, who is a tough young man, number 20.
Yeah, nice job by Santa Paula's defensive end. He really does a great job turning things in, taking on the lead blocker. And when you stuff the lead blocker into the running back, it's game over. That's just solid, fundamental football. Takes that back on with his inside shoulder, turns in the play, still keeps his leverage.
3rd and a long 4 for Narbonne. Down early, 14-0, 6:45 left opening quarter in Harbor City. Vessel calling his own number, and he's denied. Again, the penetration very good. First one to break through was Kevin Lopez, and he had company.
The pursuit is excellent. I think, the short pass, getting the ball into the flat early, and then exposing maybe some seams as the safeties start to come up.
Well, your favorite player, the Prince, is back out there. Oak
Yes.
Ponu. Kick is blocked and scooped up. This is going to be another touchdown, and again it's Sebastian Mendez. He caught the last one. This is a scoop and score for Sebastian.
Wow. I hate to say it, but special teams are a killer, and I saw that 7 plays ago. There's concerns about that, and we're out here for the LA City section, and I love Coach Bledsoe, and I love Narbonne. We got to clean that up.
Another PAT already. This is the 3rd one. And it's driven up and through. And it's a 21-0 game for the Cardinals.
Randy, when you take over a program and you work on things, one of those is the punt. And you say, hey, can we get that ball snapped and punted in 2 seconds? And you have to go with that. And you can see there, that was probably 4.5 seconds.
How would you like to be Sebastian Mendez? He gets here, gets on the field, catches a touchdown, then he gets a scoop and a score. And we haven't played, 7-8 minutes? He's got 2 touchdowns.
Randy, Sebastian Mendez, I'm 61 years old. Could you and I even ride on a bus for 2.5 hours?
Let's not get into age here, but there's the man of the moment. Number 5, Sebastian Mendez. Kicking off is Cole Whitehead of the Cards.
You got to tell your team now, hey, it's the middle of the first quarter. Let's get back in here slowly. Let's pick up a first down. We're going to get the ball at the 35, right? There it is. Let's pick up a first down. Let's move the sticks. Let's get better every series. Got to engage these kids.
Kicking team.
Well, Apollo Martin has got that procedure call going all the time. He's been active early. No kicks in the field of play. Not yet, anyway. Well, let's see if Narbonne can mount a drive here. It's got to be a disheartening opening quarter. But again, they're building the program, trying to build it back up. Down 21-0 early.
Randy, there's a lot of pride and a lot of tradition here in this neighborhood, and I know you want to address the officials.
There they are. Kim Bly, a friend of ours. We've seen her in city section before. Former athletic director at Washington High School in LA. Kim Bly, great young lady. Working with Martin Davis, Joshua, and Zapata. Always felt that Kim Bly just had a great ring to it. How about Apollo Martin? Great names with our
All
officials.
great names. And the assigner, Tony Crittenden, another great name. City section legend. His father.
He is a legend.
Yeah, come on. We're city section historians. Come on, Narbonne. Let's put something together.
You got to be rooting for the Gauchos here to get something going. Vessel tries it again, and this time he's able to find a small crease, trying to cut it back to the middle of the field. Then he's punched down. Gotta love the effort from J.J. Vessel.
Love the effort. He's your quarterback. He's going to have to know when to go down, when to avoid some shots. But you got to definitely love his desire to keep moving.
Yeah, this is a young group, new group of players, and JJ's just a 10th grader, and he's going to get better. Very, again, a versatile player. He's played running back. He's good in the secondary. In fact, Doug Bledsoe, the head coach, feels down the road he's going to be a D1 strong safety. That's a big statement. So the colleges are going to like him. But tonight he's in there as the quarterback. Trying to run the football. Trying to establish it. You don't want to get away from your game plan, even though you're trailing by 3 scores. Again, it was Damian Gonzalez.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a process that you got to stick with. You got to continue to teach these kids how to fight through adversity. You got to teach them to sustain blocks and fight every play.
4:35 left opening quarter. Cardinals
a
big
time for
opening stanza. Again, they try to run it to the near side. You see the effort. You love the effort from Damian Gonzalez. He lowered that shoulder.
I'd like to see them go for it here. 3-4 yards to go. It's somewhere, they're at their own 44, but it's a chance you could take down 21-0.
And again, they are in a situation where they're trying to build the program, and wins and losses aren't everything right now. It's about getting better and the kids learning. And they apparently are going to go for it. They heard you, Chuck. 4th and short at the 44.
They're going to
inside
find an
the 4
open
minutes
guy
left.
in the slot.
Flag is out.
Dead ball. False start.
Now we'll see if they still go for it. I would think now they might send the punting unit in.
There goes the Prince. They're going to punt.
Yeah, you got to bring the Prince in now. And you can see JJ a little bit disappointed there.
You know what, Randy? When I used to coach, we used to make it fun. We'd find a nickname for every kid because you couldn't really recognize numbers and faces for a while. We'd come with nicknames, and I might have to go with nicknames because, God, those jersey numbers don't seem clear to me.
You need a stronger pair of glasses.
Get rid of it. There you go.
There we go. The Prince got this one away.
Oh, where's the coverage?
Returnable for Jesse Chavez. He's run out of bounds on the far sideline. Again, excellent field position for Santa Paula. Doesn't matter where they've been so far. They've executed to perfection and have bolted to an early 21-0 advantage. Randy Rosenbaum, Chuck Price, thrilled you're with us. LA City Section Football presented by Brett Stye, wanting to showcase kids in Los Angeles playing in the LA section, in this city section, doing the right things. Timeout for the moment. Officials timeout.
You know, Randy, when you mentioned Brett Stye and you mentioned Narbonne and you kind of look at all the dynamics, as you would maybe even call it, the elephant in the room. At the end of the day, these are LA City school kids. Vicky Lagos does an unbelievable job giving them as much of a platform as she can. She runs a great section. The numbers are solid at schools. Football and competitive balance is there. I really like the direction it's going. You know, I know what happened here in the past, but you know, it was the second go around and things change. You know, there used to be a time when San Pedro was at the bottom of the Marine League, and now they're at the top. Narbonne was at the bottom, then they went to the top. And in high school football, the stability in a program makes it. And if you can commit to it with this new principal, Mr. Kasich, and you know, I believe this program and this school are headed in the right direction.
I really do too. Again, they support football here. And again, with Bledsoe as the head guy, and we've seen him, I knew him from his days at North Hollywood. Doug Bledsoe's going to get it done. He's got his son on the staff. His son's a good guy. He's got a good staff to work with. It's just going to take a little bit of time. This Santa Paula team looks sharp. They're executing at maximum level here in the opening quarter. They've established the passing game, and we thought initially they'd do it on the ground. So now they're going to be really difficult to try to stop on the ground now that they've established an aerial assault.
Yeah, and you look at the inside guys for Narbonne, and their first move is kind of vertical now. They're standing up rather than firing out, and that's kind of a sign of fatigue. Makes it easier on the offensive line to move them. That's what we saw that last play. I'd like to see them with a little more get off here.
3 minutes left, opening quarter. This time they bring him down, and you know who's in. It's number 54 again, John Talimatil. He is sensational on both offense and defense up front.
Yeah, I love him as a two-way player. He has a great motor. He's getting in there, and the one thing that he does is he's getting double-teamed, and he really keeps a great center of gravity. He doesn't stand up. He comes in pad level, and he drives the car.
And you love his motor. He's going 100% all the time, and Rene Vega didn't have a chance there. 3rd and long. Flag is down. Is it picked off on that far sideline? Now there is a flag out. Apollo Martin's going to sort this out for us.
Definitely looked like an interception if the penalty was against Santa Paula.
Talking with Kim Bly. Well, he said
felt like
procedure.
illegal procedure was a dead ball foul, but they let the play go.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield. Penalty is declined. It's going to be 4th down.
It looked like he said the penalty was declined, and if that's the case, then it should be Narbonne's ball. Was it an interception? No.
Ruled an incompleted
So
pass.
they declined it, just advanced it down.
Yes.
The thing that was scary about that last play was although he threw it, there was no edge contained, and he could turn that up and probably pick up the sticks with his legs.
4th and 11. Vega rolling. And he's got his man for a 1st down. That's how confident they were on 4th down and 11. And that brilliant wide receiver, Amari Carveth, runs precise patterns. He just gets open.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on the edge, and if you can let that quarterback roll to the hash, he's going to get people open.
How about the confidence to go for it on 4th and 11? I know you're up 21, but still, that's rolling the dice.
Yeah, well, I thought it was 3rd and 11, so I guess I really give him credit.
1st down, Cardinals, 35-yard line of Narbonne.
Heavy run set.
Vega is on fire, and again, it's Sebastian Mendez. Tough to bring down.
That's a blue-collar football team in a blue-collar conference. The teams that they play, Nordoff, Fillmore, all rock solid, year in, year out.
All these throws are right on the numbers. See J.J. Vessel, number 2, coming there. He's playing both sides of the ball. That's that fine quarterback of the Gauchos. Final 90 seconds, opening quarter. It's been a big one for the guys from Santa Paula. In the flat, Alcantar, and we haven't even called Sebastian's name a whole lot. They haven't needed him in this opening quarter.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for them, their final non-league game, to come out here and work on things that they haven't really been accustomed to doing for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And, you know, clearly they're switching mode and working on their short passing game. And I like this quarterback a lot, Randy.
How about number 21 and 23 playing in that offense together, the 2 Alcantar brothers. And there's his 3rd brother, Dominic, plays on the varsity. brotherly love in Santa Paula. Sebastian Alcantar is on his way. Inside the 5-yard line. But a flag is out.
Holding. Offense.
This one's coming back.
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
We won't get too technical, and I won't play coach up here. I'll play.
You're allowed to play coach. Go ahead.
When the defensive end takes himself out of the play and leaves a lane like that, your 350-pound mammoth left tackle doesn't even have to put a hand on you. The advantage Narbonne has with a left tackle like that, who's literally junior college D1 size, he's not the most mobile. Make him work. Make him use his feet. If you take yourself out of the play, you make it easy on the big guy. They need to contain that edge. Take on the block. Don't run around it.
Another whistle as Carveth started in motion.
54.
I love the energy that they're still bringing on defense at Narbonne. These guys are really playing a lot of snaps. I think having this kickoff backed up 40 minutes was much more detrimental to them because they were ready for a kickoff at 7 o'clock. They were out on the field warming up at 5:45. I think the bus ride delay really has played a much greater negative effect on Narbonne at this point. That's just an opinion.
Well, based on results, as crisp as Santa Paula has been, certainly they are the team that's executing right now. But until we see that play develop, tremendous job defensively by Narbonne's Maury Polk, 23, after it was dropped in the backfield. Boy, did Polk get in there in a hurry.
He's got great athleticism. And when you're bringing kids like that against bigger, and I don't want to use the word slower, but bigger, less athletic, that's taking advantage.
That's the end of the first quarter. A very good one for Santa Paula. They lead the Gauchos of Narbonne 21-0.
Long quarter.
Tonight's LA City Section football game of the week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports Medicine and Chiropractic, 818-508-6188. Getting set for the second quarter. Santa Paula by 21-0 over the Gauchos of Narbonne. That team in white played a beautiful first 12 minutes.
Yeah, they took advantage for sure of all the opportunities, and they received a few. Don't get it wrong, but that's football. If you can get the opportunity and capitalize, quarterback throws a nice ball.
Trips to the left side as Santa Paula comes out. One thing about Montoya's team, they're coming out here to play and score. They're not holding back. Our drone shot overlooking Gaucho Stadium here in Harbor City, California. Just a lovely night. Kickoff, it was 68 degrees. Rene Vega stepping up in the pocket. And this time he couldn't clear the traffic. And again, Polk is there, 23, along with Tally Mattil.
Yeah, the gap integrity up front is really the key. You give the quarterback nowhere to go, things like this happen. If you give gaping lanes, if you give up the edge, you deliver the game to them on a silver platter. These are the little things that games like this are great when you're developing a program. And you could slap me on the neck anytime I talk too much.
No, you never talk
Okay.
too much. You're good. By the way, this is the first of 9 city games. How great is it to have city section football back?
I love it. People say we're Fowler and Herb Street. I think we're more like Garth and Wayne.
Yeah. Vega again, who's been brilliant. Oh, a near miss. He nearly had another touchdown, and he was looking again for Sebastian Mendez. Why not look for number 5?
Yeah, I mean, give him credit. Again, if you play man coverage, you give them a very little window, and he missed it. So now Narbonne gets the ball back. That was a win. That was a great series for Narbonne. A coaching moment is now, let's get that first down, let's move the sticks, and this is how we're going to build this monster.
Well, you want to get one score at a time, obviously. You want to try to ease your way back into the game. Still a long way to go. We got better than 11 minutes left in the first half. So the Gauchos aren't out of it. They just need to find an offense against a very feisty Santa Paula D so far. Brody Addison, 71 up front, has been so good. This is Gonzalez. He has a crease and a beautiful run. Nice job from Damian Gonzalez. He's tough as nails. That's what the coach said about the young man.
I was sleeping on you there. I was looking at the extracurricular behind the play, and I'm really happy the referees did a good job getting between the kids and not throwing a flag.
That was the nice burst that the Bonnies were looking for up front. That's Brandon Silva Moody coming off the field. And again, they can ill afford to lose bodies. They started tonight with just 26 guys.
Yeah, and it's hard to field a team and be really ultra competitive because your practices struggle because of those 26 guys. The depth isn't there to go a great 11 on 11.
Again, there's 3 or 4 guys here in the game tonight for Narbonne that have been in the program for 4 years. And they've been the leaders.
Illegal substitution. 12 on the field on offense.
They should get 12 on the field. They deserve it, don't you think?
The legend, Gene Volnagel, he'd slip 12 in there as part of his game plan. He did it all the time. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If they catch it, it's a problem. But if they don't, that's brilliant coaching.
Second down, 7. Yeah, they're trying to get the ground game established. Well, again, Gonzalez drew a crowd, didn't he?
Yeah, and we're talking about getting the ground game going, but let's be realistic. You want to move the chains, but more importantly, you have to field this game, and you want to move the clock. You don't want to keep the score close by the referees making it running time. You can move the sticks, get a couple first downs, get a stop. All of a sudden, you got a team that starts believing.
Well, again, if you can establish the ground, that means you're establishing the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely.
And you can physically feel like, hey, we can compete and maybe win the game. But it starts with a drive and a score. Vessel, he has room. He has toughness. He has leadership. J.J. Vessel has a first down.
Yeah, I love it. They moved the sticks for the first time in the game. And I'm not going to say I feel momentum switching to Narbonne and this is the Gauchos' time, but that's a win. And you take that win, you put it in the bottle, and you move on. How many wins do you get?
And it started with the defense that finally held the Cardinals and turned it over on downs.
Yes.
Really like this J.J. Vessel. Good kid, good student. And again, they feel down the road he's going to play D1 football, probably on defense, though. And again, he's stepping in. They've had injuries on this football team. Aiden Garcia was the starting quarterback, and J.J. took over for him when he went down.
Randy, I love what they're doing. I love to see these kids, if they lose their block, to go find somebody else to block. What you see, and, obviously everything is new. And most of these kids are new. And when they lose that block, the first instinct is to stand around and look for the running back. Love to see them go downfield and hit the next guy in an opposite color.
By the way, at halftime, we'll have our SoCal Prep Report show teed up for you. That'll be at halftime, so you can hear from myself and Tarek Fatal what we talked about in high school football this last week. I think you'll enjoy it. That'll be our halftime entertainment. A little counter play for the Gauchos. And running with the football is Jay Lewis. And that juiced up the crowd here at Gaucho Stadium.
Yeah, they've now got 2 first downs in a row coming off of a stop, and you got a little life on the sidelines. And that, to me, That's how you celebrate getting better. Randy, come on. There's nothing like LA City football.
It's great.
By the way, we're going on the 52-year anniversary of the first high school game we've ever seen together. Boy.
Don't remind me how long ago it was. It was a Warren Moon football game at Hamilton High. There's a muff going back to get it as J.J. Vessel. North Hollywood knocked off Hamilton, I might say, in the city playoffs so many years ago and knocked Warren Moon out of it. But he wasn't called Warren Moon back then, was he?
Nope, that was all city quarterback Harold Moon.
But it was Warren Moon.
It was that Warren Moon who used his middle name after high school and after West LA College.
Oh, there's been some great names. John Elway at Granada Hills. You can go on and on in the city section.
Yeah, I could probably go on forever, as you know. But
we got a lot of time.
Yeah, let's go.
Another flag out. Ball deflected and picked off. And it's going to go back to Santa Paula. That's what they do. They turn you over. Aiden Ramirez with the interception. But again, there is a flag down. And hopefully Aiden's okay because he's hobbled.
Yeah, I love the call. Love the play call. Middle screen on 4th and long. And those are one of those things when you have that in your bag of tricks, you just get better at it and better at it.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield is declined. Change of possession. First down this way.
You heard our very fine white hat Apollo Martin give us the call, and Santa Paula on the interception, and it was a beauty at that by Aiden Ramirez. As great field position again. They're at the 43.5-yard line of the Gauchos.
You know, when you throw the middle screen and your blockers are lined up, it's sometimes tough to throw the ball 4 or 5 yards if you got to angle it over a guy in your face. And unfortunately, he didn't make that, and there were so many guys around the tailback that.
Another perfect strike to Carvath. Boy,
Yeah.
Carvath gets yak yardage too after the catch. He's difficult to bring down. He's elusive.
Yeah, you want to see that first DB make that tackle in space, limit that to a 3-yard completion. You know, it was really nice to see the pursuit and the rally to the ball from the rest of that defensive squad.
9 yards on that aerial to Amari Carvath. He came in as the leading receiver, 10 through 3 games. Also plays a little cornerback for the Cardinals. 2nd down and a long one. Alcantar has a first down. Sebastian Alcantar. We have to identify the Alcantars because there's 3 of them out there.
Yeah, that's number 54 again for Narbonne in the backfield, and not flying aimlessly in there. He takes a blocker with him. He's got really good gap integrity. He's a fine football player.
You can see why Coach Bledsoe is so high on John Talley-Mattil, and he knows he's going to get a D1 ride.
Yeah, I love his size and definitely love his push.
First down for the Cardinals, and they're threatening again. Alcantar, and guess who dropped him?
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
In fact, that's a new running back in the ball game. That was Ryan Luna, who's checked in. He's rushed for better than 250 yards this year. So a fresh back for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they're having a tough time with him. You could see they're trying to run away from him and kind of chip off of him and move to the second level. And he's running plays down from the backside. That's how good his energy level is.
You're talking about John Talley-Mattil, 6'4", 270-pound defensive lineman for the green and white of Narbonne. Luna looking for it all. It's caught. And it's that man again, Sebastian Mendez. His 3rd touchdown of the opening half.
That's a nice toss, and that's a really nice catch. Great route off the line of scrimmage. That looks like that's a defensive lineman down.
Unfortunately, there is a Gaucho down. It's 27-0, and having quite the night is Sebastian Mendez. He's a senior, and this will be a night he'll remember, one would imagine. He's being congratulated on that far sideline. I think he put 3 up. He understands he's got 3 touchdowns. We do have a timeout for the moment with the Gaucho down. So we'll step out and hear from the people that made this program possible, and we really thank them. Tonight's LA City Section football game of the week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports Medicine and Chiropractic, 818-508-6188. Understanding that we have an injured Gaucho down is going to be helped up. And again, you love this process where the kids pay respect to the young man that's down. The good news is, appears to be healthy. And unfortunately, that's our guy, John Talimatil. He's walking off to the near sideline, and he's going to be all right. You just don't know when he's going to come back in, and he's a piece that you can't really lose. You can see the weather. We mentioned 72 degrees on the screen. My phone said 68 at kickoff, so I'm cooling it off a little bit. But I'll go with the guys in the truck, and we'll go with 72.
The view's spectacular from the blimp up here.
We're not in a blimp. We're in a press box.
Okay.
You got to tell the truth.
But it looked good, though, didn't it, for a minute? I was like, goodness.
I love the drone shot that we had at the beginning of the night. That was pretty good. Time for another PAT after still another Mendez touchdown. And that one is drilled on a line drive and through. Give the PAT to Cole Whitehead. And it's a 28-0 ball game. Let's go back to the last Mendez touchdown.
Yeah, we're man coverage. Safety's going to always have a hard time getting there. I like the fact that the kid didn't run inside. He went outside, which is what the DB needs to do. But you got to get hands on him. In a situation like that, as you get closer to the goal line, if you give somebody a free release off the line of scrimmage, that's going to be the result if they can play catch. It's very, very difficult to stop any kind of a pattern if you don't put hands on your opponent at the line of scrimmage. Randy, with another kickoff coming, I'm just saying let's give it at the 35-yard line. Let's save a couple of minutes of evening.
Well, the Gauchos, I mentioned, were 0-4, and they're coming off a performance where they lost at Linwood 18-12. So this has got to be a little disheartening in the half, but we'll see how they do the remainder of the way. And trying to come back with it is Jamari Ladd, and he's taken down by Daniel Moreno. Gauchos have not backed away from stiff competition. They started the season at Los Osos, then Los Alamitos, big-time CIF Southern Section program in Culver City and Linwood. To their credit, they're playing the Southern Section.
Yeah, they're playing a schedule that last year's team played. Obviously, they couldn't get out of deals with Los Alamitos and Culver City, and those programs are just a notch above. They're very difficult to compete with when you don't have the depth, certainly when you don't have the experience. I watched Hamilton play Sarah early in the season, played very, very well for a quarter, then the depth caught him.
Your man Prince is in there in the offensive front now. Prince Okponu with the injury to John Talimatil. And again, the line of scrimmage is going to be won by the visitors. And you can see the frustration there. And that's why we're going to get the flag. It's tough on these young Gauchos. Watching this Santa Paula team come in here and control the action so far. And JJ has the best interest of the team, and he's just frustrated.
Playing high school football and being a part of something is special. And these kids work hard, and their families come out, and they feel that they can't control the outcome, and you can see the emotions come out. It's tough. You have to teach them the fine line between teammate, discipline.
Quarterback, 15 yards from the end of the run. Half the distance.
No, JJ just, he's tried to do everything. He didn't have a lot of support there, and it's difficult on the young man. It's a 28-0 first half for Santa Paula. 5 minutes remains. Just want to see the Gauchos get some first downs. They had a few in the last drive, then it stalled. Let's see if they can pick it up a notch here.
They're going to have a bright future here. This might not be the season for them, but next season they'll be significantly better.
Yeah, there is the commitment to football in Harbor City. We mentioned it before, and again, you can see the execution level is down here. When fielded by JJ to save the play, but they'll get it done. They got a good, like I said, an excellent coaching staff, veteran coaching staff, and the administration really wants to try to get this football team turned around in the right way.
Yeah, there comes a time like this when the last 3 or 4 snaps are either on the ground or above the quarterback's head, where we have to talk about maybe putting the quarterback under center, eliminating the mistakes, maybe a more traditional run set when you see your center struggling like that. And he's getting pumped around in there by those 2 inside guys. He's in the backfield sometimes before the ball.
That run takes it out across the 5-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough punt for them coming out of the goal line, the end line, I'm sorry. That's where Prince will be stationed when he goes in there.
They are feeding Damian Gonzalez. They believe in him as a running back. Been in the program for 4 years, number 20. What you love about Gonzalez, he was a backup for much of the 4 years. He waited his turn, and now he has his opportunity. And he has flourished early on this year.
Yeah, what scares me about the punt now is the coverage downfield. These kids are getting exhausted, and the punt gets off and there's nobody covering. And this is it.
Yeah, one of the upbacks brings it in. And returning it, good field position, is Aaron Renee. He's a receiver, come in here with 7 catches already this year. And Renee gives his football team great field position already. Where are they going to start? Where are they going to put it at the 21-yard line?
Randy, number 20 from Narbonne. That was unbelievable effort, hustle, and that was a tackle that if he doesn't make, I think that returner walks into the end zone.
Well, that again is Damian Gonzalez, and we just talked about him and underscored what he means to the team. 28-0. You can see the clock down to 3:15 left in the half. And looks like the Cardinals want more. And with this kind of field position, one would think they have a great opportunity. That time they have multiple players in motion. That'll cost them.
Dead ball, false start, offense.
As I watch this game and where it's going, and at the 3-minute mark going into halftime, I have my list of things in my mind that I want to talk about at halftime if I'm Narbonne. But with you, I have a list of things that I want to talk about, which is we are going to have a task here, and we need to keep these listeners and viewers entertained, and I think we can do it. I think we can call
Is
a football
that a challenge?
I think we can do this.
I think we can, too. We'll talk a little city section football history, maybe. Alcantar bouncing to the outside. Markers are down, and Sebastian Alcantar showcasing his power.
Yeah, I mean, there's 9 Narbonne guys around the football, 18 yards downfield at the sidelines. That's what you want to see. That's effort, that's hustle, that's not giving up.
Apollo Martin's been busy tonight. Our lead official.
We might have to talk to Tony Crittenden, the assigner, and tell him that Apollo is not.
Illegal formation, offense.
Yeah, we have to tell him that Apollo is not getting paid by the hour or the flag. And we have an injury now as well, and that looks like another Narbonne D lineman.
All right, while they attend to the Gaucho, let's hear from our friends who help sponsor LA City Section football. Tonight's LA City Section football game of the week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita, how can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports Medicine and Chiropractic, 818-508-6188. Beautiful panoramic view of Gaucho Stadium here in Harbor City. School that's won 11 city football championships over the years. Trying to build it back up. LA City section football, and you can see that the players are still kneeling as they attend to one of the Gauchos who is down. It's been a big first half for a couple players, certainly for Santa Paula. Indeed, the quarterback Rene Vega has thrown some beautiful touchdown strikes, and also Sebastian Mendez, 2 touchdowns on offense, 1 on the specialty unit. And the Gaucho player being helped off appears to have a leg injury. And again, this is a depleted roster in terms of numbers, so they can ill afford to lose any more bodies.
And then, of course, they move into a league where Carson, San Pedro are really, you know, at this point in a class by themselves. Banning is there at some level, but you know, I think when it's all said and done, it's a Carson-San Pedro Marine League.
They're working on Jamari Ladd. They're stretching him out. Let's hope that it's just a cramp, and he'll be back in there. All right, opportunity for Santa Paula. Clock running, 2:45 left, opening half. Cardinals looking for more. Alcantar pounding down inside the 20.
And again, all I could say is you go back to the things we talked about early in the broadcast. If you can't solidify the edge, that's what's going to happen. But to Narbonne's credit, again, at the end of the play, there's 9 black shirts around the ball. That's showing hustle. That's showing the desire to get better. And I think you can improve as a team when you see that on film. It's exciting to see your kids play to the whistle.
And Santa Paula's 2-1. Looking to go 3-1 on the young season. Open the season with a big win over Grace, where they put up 45 points.
Grace is a great program.
Swing pass to Alcantar, the younger one. And number 23, Xavier, has a touchdown. Xavier Alcantar.
Yeah, this is what's going to happen to a defense that's playing man coverage on a play action pass. When you start putting in second level players, backup linebackers, everybody's focused on the run and you lose sight. But just like the wide receiver, somebody's got to cover that guy out of the backfield. There was nobody. The linebacker who should have taken him was collisioned by a lead blocker. There was nobody in man coverage to get him. And again, Randy, we learned from that. And I do love the man coverage philosophy. And you get better at it, and that's how you roll.
Kick is no good this time from Cole Whitehead. So it remains 34-0. Again, the one team to knock off this Santa Paula squad was La Cañada, but you can see how they're executing tonight on offense. And an easy touchdown taking it in was Alcantar. And again, that's the brother, number 23, Xavier Alcantar. Number 21, Sebastian Alcantar, did well on that drive as well.
Yeah, and you know, I'm still focused here on Narbonne and what happens in between plays. I'm looking at their kickoff return, and as bodies go down, the struggle to get 11 players on the field is real. And that's because in practice, you just don't have the depth. So these are issues that a rebuilding program faces. It's like the guy who's stuck with the JV team. He's got 17 kids, and you're looking in like, who wants to go in? And nobody wants to go.
Cole Whitehead again advancing on the ball. One again is wide of the target.
There's a shocker.
No, not a shocker at all, really. Let me guess. It's going to the 35. Well, with 1:43 left, let's just see if Narbonne can mount an offense here in the waning last couple minutes of the opening half.
All right, I'm strategizing. I'm going to run the clock out, get these kids to run off the field with their head up. What are we going to do with the ball to start the second half when we get it? Let's establish a run here. Let's gain positive yardage. That's our momentum. There it is. Turn it up.
No chance. Not with number 16 on the other side, who's been strong tonight, Aiden Ramirez. Not a chance at all for Damian Gonzalez. Number 20 had no running room.
There's a lot of coaches that have not been in this position, and until you've been there, it's frustrating. You don't know what it's like until you're in it. But there's a sidelines with really 11 able bodies, and like Coach told us, half of those 11 they had to steal out of science class.
Yeah. They had another clock issue, but they finally got it going again. Again, trouble with the snap. J.J. Vessel able to field it and run, and J.J. doing a great job. Carvath brought him down, or that might have been a touchdown.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. You know, they've got to be able to get him in space. And unfortunately, at this point, they haven't done enough design runs upfield, east and west. They're trying to go sideline to sideline with him. He's a big kid.
I love his competitive spirit. He just plays hard. You saw the frustration earlier. He really wants to win, and you love that in a young man. And again, he's only a 10th grader.
I'd like to see them do that 2 more plays and pick up a first down and take that into halftime. Put him behind that running back. There you go.
Gonzalez, running room. Crowd loves it. Crossing the 50. First down, Narbonne.
And I love Coach's philosophy. He's not, oh boy, we picked up 22 yards. Let's take a timeout and try and score. Hey, let's get in and out of the huddle. Let's execute another great play. Look, his demeanor's great. He knows the task ahead of him. I'm glad we have this game. I'm glad we have this team, because in 3 years we'll be here again and these guys will be at a whole different level.
First down at the 49, but the clock down to 15 seconds. Again, they're just trying to improve with the fundamentals, and there goes Vessel. He's on his way. J.J. Vessel. What a run. Inside the 10 with 2 seconds left in the half. What an effort by Vessel. The play of the night for Narbonne.
And that's how you roll into the locker room at halftime, but they got 2 seconds left. I don't believe they're taking a timeout.
What a run by J.J.
Oh, they don't have one.
They've used their timeouts, but they do get the play away. Can Vessel take it in? No, he gets denied. But that was a beautiful drive by the Gauchos and great work by J.J. Vessel. You saw what the sophomore can do. What a great effort by number 2.
Yeah, I love him as a runner. There's no doubt about it. This is a position that takes forever to get good at. It's a leadership thing. Most 10th grade tailbacks aren't ready to become the quarterback and lead a team.
At the break, it's 34-0 in favor of Santa Paula. Great performances from Rene Vega, the quarterback of Santa Paula. Sebastian Mendez caught a couple touchdowns, and Amari Carveth was brilliant on the perimeter as well. We're going to pick up some of our last show, SoCal Prep Report. I think you'll like it. It's Randy, you know me, and of course, Tarek Fatal. Let's hear the first few minutes of that show. I think you'll like it. It's all about prep football. What doesn't normally happen is modern day losing football games. And it happened last week. And I said, I believe going in, this was a Pickett game. I thought they were in a tough spot. And they go to Corona Centennial. They play a horrible first half. Give the Huskies all the credit in the world. And you can see modern day, they climb back in it, but then they end up losing down the stretch 42-36.
Look, social media was kind of going nuts. It was 28-0 at one point, and then 28-7, 33-7 at halftime. Everyone's thinking, here we go, Centennials are rolling. But then Mater Dei scores 29 unanswered to take the lead in the third quarter. And then now it's the other side. Uh-oh, how could the Huskies blow this? And they don't. They find a way to get back on track. Credit to Matt Logan and Coach Dominic Catalano. They drive, they score a touchdown, and then there's obviously a game-sealing interception. I know we'll get to that in a second. But what a great high school football game for all of America to enjoy, really.
Really was. Give Catalano, the younger Catalano, credit for engineering the Huskies and scoring that many points against Mater Dei's defense. But on the other side, the Monarchs, they lose 5 fumbles. They really didn't deserve to win the football game. There was the controversy. Is it a catch? Is it an interception? And it became a pick.
Yeah, I think, man, there's so many, these are the rules, and one official comes in, and as you see here, Ryan Hopkins tosses it up. This is on the ensuing possession after the Corona took the lead. So basically the Monarchs are trying to win the game, and look at this, man. Oh, that is close. And I tell you what, we were talking about it before the show. It gets eventually called an interception, and it wins the game for the Huskies of Corona Centennial. However, if it would have been called a first down, Monarchs keep the ball, and I don't know if that would have been too much. It would have been just as controversial, but I don't think anyone would have really scoffed at it. That's a hard decision on Sundays. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, well, they have replay. There's
Even
no
with the
replay in high
but I'm
school.
saying even with the replay, that's a tough call to make. You'd have to go into technicality to decipher.
There has to be conclusive evidence.
There you go.
And I don't know. In the old days, it used to be tie goes to the runner in baseball. We're not seeing that all the time anymore. And if they went up with simultaneous catches,
Offense gets
the offense gets the football. That's the common thought process there, but who knows? And I'm not arguing with the call. Again, Mater Dei didn't deserve to win the football game. They turned it over too many times. They played a very sloppy first half, and certainly Centennial took advantage and deserved the victory. All right, that's going to, send some reverberations down in not only the polls, but in the beliefs of some of these other schools that they can knock off the Monarchs down the road when it really counts. So let's go to the next game, which is another very prominent game. That's Mission Viejo. They had to go to San Diego to play a terrific Lincoln team. Lincoln led in this game in the second half, but Mission Viejo showed its mettle and pulled it out.
Yeah, this is a Diablos team that's playing some of the best high school football maybe in the country. And to get 2 out-of-section victories in a row and those teams be section powers, right? So Folsom. I kind of always blank on what section they're in. There's so many in the Northern California area, North Coast section or whatever it may be, San Joaquin. I always forget. Point is in their section up north, they are the team to beat. And then San Diego section, it's all about Lincoln. So for the Diablos to get those 2 victories is impressive.
It spoiled your year, though, because had
too.
Lincoln won, it would have changed the playoff construction, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think there would have been argument where, to be quick about it, the Southern Section Division I champion always generally gets a bye for that regional bowl game straight into the Open Division Championship. Well, if San Diego Lincoln maybe beats Mission Viejo, runs the table, maybe the Southern Section Division I champion plays the Open Division champion from San Diego before representing the South in the Open Division State Championship. I'll tell you right now, that is now not going to happen.
That is off the table.
Yeah, it's off the table.
Tark said last week on this program, Sierra Canyon's playing the best football in Southern California, and they were impressive again against Downey. Dominated them.
Yeah, the defense is just unreal. I mean, the defensive end, Richie Wesley, going to Texas is basically a man-child, and such a nice kid. He's a really fun kid to talk to. For all media members, I would definitely recommend an interview with him. However, Downey is a formidable team, high-octane offense. They were 3-0 coming in, and Sierra Canyon made them look mediocre, which I believe is an indication of how good Sierra Canyon is. Last ad. When we usually see Bosco and Mater Dei early in the season, they're rolling teams. Man, this team's good. Well, Sierra Canyon's doing that right now, and Mater Dei and Bosco aren't. Bosco's playing better than Mater Dei, but the way they're rolling good teams, and I'm talking about Sierra Canyon, makes me feel like maybe that gap is a little closed.
The impressive aspect of the game was Oscar Rios, the brilliant quarterback at Downey, who normally throws for 250, 300, 4 touchdowns a game, was shut down. I got the number right here, 3 of 12 for just 32 yards. That is great defense by the Trailblazers. That's the most impressive display by Sierra Canyon in that particular contest. Next game, Olu Gardena Sarah. Now, what's striking here is the difference. Sarah started out the year winning 2 games, shutting out people, looking great.
Yep.
Olu just rolled them.
Yeah, and I think not the end of the world for Sarah. Look, Sarah to me is one of those teams where despite how good they might have been, they weren't going to be in Division I anyway. This is a Division II program, so even with a couple losses in a row or maybe one down the line in the Mission League against Sierra Canyon, they'll still be in Division II. So they're in this space of the rankings where there's really not much to grow up, and they're really not going to fall too far down because of the teams they're playing and their strength of schedule. So yeah, not great right now for Sarah, but they play Oaks Christian next, and that team's not doing all so hot. So I think the Cavs will get back on track on Friday.
Boy, that's really going out on a limb. He's right.
Low-hanging fruit, huh?
Low-hanging fruit. All right, no low-hanging fruit here with Servite at Notre Dame out in Sherman Oaks. This is a really good game. Notre Dame led. Servite came charging back. You could see it was 13-0 at one time. And a home loss for Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was at this game on Friday, out in the Valley. I thought, how can I go see a Trinity League team? Okay, and I'll check in on Notre Dame, and here's why. Servite thumped Chaminade. So I thought, if I can go watch Notre Dame and see how they match up, that'll give me an idea, litmus test-wise, of where these teams are. And for Notre Dame, no question, just the score alone tells you, okay, they're better than Chaminade. I mean, this game was competitive. They were up 13-0. They turned over the Friars in the first 2 possessions and then scored on those turnovers. So Notre Dame is a very good team, despite being 2-2.
But they were undermanned. Health is on
That was
its
good.
way.
That was good.
Mr. Stokes
Yeah.
has got the uniform on, a 6'8" behemoth.
Yeah, I gotta say, your boy broke the news on this one. Was out to be able to get out to practice on Monday, but being there on Friday, I was hearing murmurs that Tyron Stokes, the #1 high school basketball player in the country at 6'8", 245 pounds, wants to play football. And so I said, okay, so-and-so and so-and-so, my sources, let me know what Monday looks like. And lo and behold, there he was out in pads and a helmet. So he needs 10 padded practices, which he technically can get with a Saturday practice, and maybe he'll play against Culver City. And if he doesn't, he'll play eventually.
It's great that he wants to play football. I want to play Major League Baseball this week, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that's
so
a little...
I think it's a little concerning physically. I know
Sure.
he's a great basketball player. You can argue if he's the best player in the country or not, but he's right up there. Now he's taking that chance. I get it. He wants to enjoy high school sports and get an opportunity.
Last stat, I think it is refreshing. NIL, money, he's got an agent. Totally hear you. On this day and age, maybe not worth the risk. Here's what I'll say is pretty refreshing about his response. Why you want to do it? Could be the last chance I get to be a kid. You know what? I really, really like that perspective from a 17-year-old. Come on.
Tyron, I'm older than that, and I'm still a kid. So you can be a kid the rest of your life.
You know what he means.
I know what he means. Damien's pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
Damien's pretty
Yeah,
good. They
and-
took it to Tustin.
Yeah, they did. Tustin's a talented team, but listen, James Stewart, the coach at Damien, you got to give him his kudos. This team is really, really good. And now you're talking, wait a minute, if they go win the Baseline League, they beat Rancho Cucamonga, they finish 9-1, 10-0, depending on how many teams are in the Division I playoffs, maybe they go Division I, which would be wild, but the Spartans are a very good football team.
The most entertaining football team in the Southland may be Palisades in the city. Again, they put up a huge number against a Southern Section school. And again, just riding Jack Thomas 6 touchdown passes every week.
Yeah, DeMar DeZern is one of the go-to targets out there, just committed to Oklahoma. So this Palisades team, I'm not exactly surprised. Now, they're not, from the scores I'm seeing, they don't really, it's like defense is optional a little bit. They kind of just go out there and want to outscore you, which is obviously how you win a game. You got to score more points than the other team. But I think
I just learned something.
Oh, man. But I think you get what I'm saying. So they need to shore up the defense a little bit, but this is undoubtedly a open division city section club.
This is as much fun as we've had in a long time on the show.
Maybe for you. It's okay for me.
Having a good time. You would have had a good time at Banning and Garfield.
Look
This
at
is
that.
really 2 of the better teams in the city section. Banning's 4-0 now. Garfield has the great Cesar Reyes because he plays on both sides of the ball, runner, and he's a linebacker, makes a gazillion tackles. But Banning gets the win.
Yeah, this is one of the more respected rivalries in the city section. 2 heated, not heated is not the word, 2 passionate fan bases within their communities. Anytime Banning and Garfield get together, it's generally a good game. How much better can you get than a 1-point result in the difference? So 21-20.
Kennedy and Granada Hills, they're neighborhood rivals. They played last week, and Kennedy got by Granada Hills. This was a very low-scoring game for a long time. It broke out a little bit more offense in the back half. I expected a higher scoring game, but Kennedy wins it, and the Cougars improved to 3-1.
Yeah, I think this was a tale of two styles. Kennedy likes to air it out. Diego Montez, the quarterback, kind of does a little bit of everything, runs, passes, and then Granada, they just, cloud of dust, and like they run like the veer and all these different.
You've obviously been to the Kennedy Field because it is literally a cloud of dust.
Yeah, Granada Hills just kind of attacks you with the run, and that's it. So the passing game wins the day.
Well, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed SoCal Prep Report. We're getting ready for the third quarter here at Narbonne with the visitors from Santa Paula with a handsome 34-0 lead with Chuck Price. I'm Randy Rosenblum. Santa Paula had it going in the first half. The good news is the Gauchos get the ball to start the second half.
We talked about how to close and how to start, and what they, as you can see with the highlights coming up, how they ended the half is the momentum they need to take into the second half.
Yeah, it was all Santa Paula. Here's a deep one to Carveth, who beat the secondary and went all the way.
Yeah, great matchup for them. And again, the safety's nowhere to be found. Better bringing him in pressure than having him sit back there alone.
Wonderful moment. That was good for 65 and a score. Here's the effort of J.J. Vessel. You just love the way he plays. And here's a touchdown to Sebastian Mendez. He had 3 scores in the half.
That's a great night for anybody. That's a great season for a lot of kids. There's the block punt. Prince back there. And again,
Sebastian Mendez, the guy.
Randy, you love Sebastian Mendez.
Well,
I think of Sebastian, I think of my granddaughter watching Nemo.
Well, they have a couple Sebastians. Sebastian Alcantar is pretty good, too. Here's that wonderful run by J.J. at the end of the half. Didn't quite take it to the house.
That's their identity. That's who they need to be from now through the end of the season. Take what you've got, which is an excellent ball-carrying quarterback who can keep defenses on their heels. He's the quintessential dual threat.
Well, small steps for Narbonne, at least that last possession. They had the great run by Vessel. Probably would have scored, but they just ran out of time. See how they do when they begin the third quarter. Building block process, but we know that Doug Bledsoe in the past has gotten it done. Got a terrific track record over the years. Mentioned earlier, his son Bo, the train Bledsoe, is one of his assistant coaches. And they know it's a process and it's going to take a little bit of time.
For Doug, he understands. He's coached with some great people. He's played for some great people. His legacy really traces back to high school when he played at Dorsey for Glenn Bell and Knox and McAdoo, and learned from really legendary coaches about how to manage young men. And that's what winning at the high school level is about. Can you manage young men who aren't doing this for a living? They're going to school for 5 periods. It's a beautiful night.
71 degrees. All right, here we go. Teed up. Hanson on the ball will be Cole Whitehead, and we're underway in the second half. And once again, he'll start from the 35-yard line. Why don't we just place it down at the 35?
When the first 4 kicks went out of bounds at the 35, I thought, maybe we could make this a rule for this game. I couldn't see a coach arguing it. With the ball to start this half, would love to see them do what they did to finish. Run the quarterback up inside. The leverage, the pursuit, the contain that Santa Paula has on defense is tough. You can run right at him because this quarterback runs like a freight train.
And he does have the diminutive Damian Gonzalez at 5'8", and 186 pounds, who's a little powder keg himself. Really good football player. And it is Damian Gonzalez. Not a whole lot there. They converge on him in a hurry. Leading the charge was Abraham Flores, number 29. And you can see that Gonzalez a little bit slow to get up. He's been the workhorse carrying the football along with J.J. Vessel.
Love the way he lowers his shoulder, brings the contact to the defender. When you're as light and as small as he is, to hit the hole and to hit the defender with that kind of power is amazing. That's a tough running back.
Yeah, I got 1 yard on the plays. In the backfield, he's number 10, Lewis, swinging wide to the right. He's fleet of foot. See if the Gauchos can execute better in this third quarter. But as Chuck alluded to, they were very good on that last drive, and this is the reason why. J.J. Vessel again on the perimeter. He is spectacular when he gets to the outside, but there is a flag down.
Yeah, he gets a great block on the edge. I'm sure they're going to try and say that there was a hold. To me, it looked good. I can't wait to see the replay.
Fortunately, they're coming back with this one on the hold. But you can see why they believe J.J. Vessel is the future. He's just a sophomore.
Yeah, I think you could build an offense around him. No doubt in my mind, he's got the tools to be a great high school quarterback. So here we go. Here's the replay. I felt like we did a really good job turning in the edge, and from what I saw, I feel that was a great block. Tony Crittenden, we need to review that. Let's take advantage of a non-league game and get those calls right.
Chuck, there is no replay in high school football. Would you like replay in high school football? Again, there's not enough games on TV to get the angles and really do it justice to have a replay.
No replay. These games are already too long. If we went to replay, we'd roll into Saturday morning.
By the way, most people think Birmingham's the best team in the city again. We'll talk about that momentarily. Jim Rose, year in and year out, does a great job. Here's Gonzalez putting the head down, and nice little chunk there before he ran into Alvin Morales, the linebacker.
Yeah, if there's a challenge coming out of the city for Birmingham, it's going to be the Western League. Palisades with Jack Thomas, Venice High School playing great defense. Don't be surprised to see Hamilton High School with the great ninth grade quarterback and what I think is a very, very dynamic offense challenging the upper crust of the Western League. Uni's made great progress. I don't buy 4-0. I look at the quality of the opponent. It's not there for me. Right now, they're still Uni, but they can show me differently in league.
You mentioned Jack Thomas of Pali. He throws 5-6 touchdowns every week. Vessel looking to throw one here. A near miss. He had his receiver out there. Lewis just missed him.
Not really a throw that he's going to make regularly at this stage of his career. He's got a great arm. He's got great athleticism. You can see the touch really is not there, and that's a ball you have to put to the outside, not the inside.
Fourth down and a long way to go. Early third quarter action. We played a little bit better than 2 minutes, and the Prince is back out there. We love Prince Okponu, the punter. He does all the chores, actually. Kicks off, PATs, although we haven't seen him do that tonight because the Catchers obviously haven't scored. And the Prince will punt it away. Short kick here, straight out of bounds. Good field position again for the Cardinals.
That was not a kickoff. I don't think there should be a penalty flag for the ball going out of bounds. She picked up the flag, so maybe we can just move on and just let that be as a short kick.
Yeah, Paula Martin saying enough with these penalties. We got to stop this. Let's move this game forward. 9:54 to go in the third quarter. We're going to pick up that flag. Or, as you alluded to, it was just a punt, not a kickoff. But good field position for the Cardinals. They'll start from the Gaucho 45.
Let's have a great defensive series for Narbonne. Let's make that the improvement from one half to the other.
Someone we got to stop this quarterback, Vega, who's been on fire so far. And again, he's got Sebastian Mendez.
Was not paying attention at the snap to the secondary. Really looked like at that point in time they were playing zone coverage, and that's why that was a wide open look. A great wide receiver and quarterback really taking advantage of what looked like a pretty soft zone.
Xavier Collins, number 5, trying to do his best to stymie the play, but it picked up 9.5 at second down and very short. You would think they'd run the football here, but they have everything on the table on second and inches. Alcantara burrows for a first down.
Nice solid tackle, good hit. Sometimes in high school football, you know the play's over because you hear the whistle. It's great to hear it end with a hit.
When you hear that pop, you know it's 23 Maury Polk. He just comes in lowering that shoulder.
That's it. You want to hear a thud, a crack, not a bunch of marshmallows. This is not the stay soft game.
Well, the Cards have another first down. They're threatening yet again. Up 34-0. 3 minutes into the third quarter. An errant snap.
We got it.
Narbonne has the football.
Sorry about the we. I'm a city section guy.
I can see that. You're not supposed to be a wee guy. But they did get it. There's Maury Polk again, 23. And you wanted to see better defense. We have a timeout. We have a player down. This appears to be a Cardinal. So let's hear from our sponsors who have been so nice to bring you LA City Section football. LA City Section football game of the week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports Medicine and Chiropractic, 818-508-6188. Here come the Gauchos, looking at 2nd and 5. Wasn't a serious injury, and the Cardinal came off the field okay. Another handoff, and a little bit of a crease there for Damian Gonzalez. How about that effort? That's just great performance by Damian.
The effort was great. The pulling linemen, pulling close to the line of scrimmage, really getting across that backfield quickly, kicking out, creating a hole, the things you can grow on. Look at the pulling lineman, getting there quickly, kicks out, boom.
Lowering that shoulder, getting the job done. That's perfection for Damian.
First down.
That'll move the sticks. Inside the 45, near the 42-yard line.
I'm sitting up here with you, Randy. You are the quintessential professional. I'm like Pepper Brooks, the role that Jason Bateman played in Dodgeball. Just excited to be up here with you.
We're excited
football.
to have you here, Chuck. Good to have Chuck Price, who's been around the city for a little while, to say the least. If he remembers Warren Moon from 52 years ago at Hamilton, you know he's been around the block. First down, Gauchos. Trying to march down the field with Damian Gonzalez leaping forward for a few.
Great patient running. Stutters, finds the hole, lowers his shoulder, explodes through it. He doesn't have that much height. He gets lost behind big linemen. They look like they're doing stuff now that they weren't able to do in the first half. And that's what happens when you get a team in and put them on the board. I love the way they're attacking.
Pick up a 4, 2nd and 6. Gauchos establishing the ground game. Now it's Vessel's turn. Hit hard after a gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards. I love the fact that both Vessel and Gonzalez really look for contact. They're not certainly frightened by the defenders coming at them.
Yeah, the best collision on that play was the pulling guard running straight into the mountain, number 66. That might have been the best collision of the night. When you teach a defensive lineman you have to take on that puller, that's what he did, and that's what they call a train wreck.
3rd down for the Gauchos. Certainly they'll be in 4-down territory if need be. Gonzalez, and it is going to be 4th and long, and that's not what they needed, a negative play. Cardinals really ran to the football beautifully. The charge was led by Alvin Morales, 44.
It's 4-down territory, even though it's a long situation, 4th and 7. Really like to see them just take a 3-step drop and deliver the ball to one of the guys in the slot. Vessel's not a guy that's really going to have a lot of success early throwing deep. I think these guys from Santa Paula are dynamic in the flat, but I know there's a chance to attack them in the seams, and they really haven't been exposed there yet, and I'm really hoping that's where Narbonne goes with it here.
Jay Lewis has been the primary target throughout the first few weeks, number 10. See if the ball's directed to him. Vessel out of the gun. He's running. He's elusive. First down and a lot more for J.J. Vessel. Still on his way. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. First and goal, Narbonne. But there is apparently a flag down. It would be heartbreaking if this one comes back.
Am I allowed to be critical of the officials, or am I not allowed to be?
I wouldn't go there. I mean, it is going to come back. You got to feel bad for JJ. He's broken a couple long ones. But yeah, if you want to be critical, you can.
I think there's a point in time where you let the kids play and you let the game go. By the call on the field, where the holding occurred and where the flag was thrown, I'm going to say it was probably inconsequential to the result. And you look at the scoreboard, you look at the situation, and I think you need to use better judgment there. Don't be the center of attention. As you can see, it's hard to determine where the hold is. There's really nothing here. I don't see anything. He's looking behind the play, so clearly the referee needs to be like the kids, right? You leave the play behind you. So when the ball's 10 yards advanced beyond the official, he needs to go there. He can't look 20 yards in the back. Tony Crittenden, I'm sorry, you are the best at assigning. I love where the unit has come, but I did not like that call.
And neither did Narbonne. Sure, on their sideline, there's a little displeasure, to say the least. I mean, that really is a heartbreaking one that's called back. And again, Santa Paula is in great shape to win the football game, but it's baby steps for the Gauchos, and that would have been really nice to have first and goal inside the 5.
Well, again, I think you have to look at the whole picture, and I think if you're the referee who threw that flag horribly behind the play, maybe you say, hey, I let you get away with one, but I should have thrown a flag because you did X. That's a teaching moment. This was a glory moment for the official, and you know, being up here allows me to say that I feel bad that I can be critical of him, but this isn't about him. This is about the kids. Sorry, Randy Rosenblum. Again, I feel like Pepper Brooks from Dodgeball.
You are opinionated. There's no question about that, but that's your job.
Yeah, I add color to a very black and white situation.
All right, it's 4th down. Let's see if they can pick it up. Vessel again will start upfield, and he's denied first down yardage. And the ball should go over on downs to Santa Paula. And now their offense will come onto the field, and unfortunately for Narbonne, it indeed goes back to the Cardinals.
And you look at Vessel, he got hit 5 plays in a row, lowers his shoulders, taking on multiple tacklers, and now he's sitting out there as the centerpiece of the defense. Tough role for a kid who you really need to be your leader on every offensive snap.
Anthony Rodriguez is checked in as the quarterback for the Cardinals, so we'll see him for the first time tonight, spelling Renee Vega, who was terrific, to say the least.
I can already say that I'm in love with the coaching system at Santa Paula. The head coach there knows we've done what we needed to do. What a golden opportunity to get some young kids some snaps. And hats off to him, running the ball, teaching younger players how to play the game.
28 is also back in Ryan Luna. He did get some touches in the first half.
Ball start, offense.
Again, you're going to have some miscues, one would imagine, with Santa Paula inserting new guys.
And that's okay. That's why you put young kids in a game when you can, because as you get into the late part of October, November, that next loss is your last loss. You never know when one of these kids needs to be in.
Well, again, Anthony Rodriguez is a young quarterback. Also can play safety. He's 5'9" and 155 pounds. So we'll see what Anthony can do to generate an offense as the understudy. Well, they still have the ground game. They can ground and pound, and they do it effectively with Ryan Luna.
As long as they keep running near or behind Mount Jorge Gonzalez, number 66, they're going to be spectacular. He doesn't have what you would call great feet, but he's got enough size and push, and clearly he's like an eclipse.
I like that description, by the way. Like an eclipse. Once again, it's Luna with a crease.
And who provided that crease? Mountie Clips, Jorge.
Well, Ryan Luna again came in averaging 6 yards a carry, number 28. So he gets the job done, and he had a lot of room to operate with.
Yeah, again, I go back to my first half comments, and the game is so much simpler when you give kids a nickname. So right now, Jorge is Eclipse, and you've got to run the ball behind the Eclipse.
That's number 66, Jorge Gonzalez, and he's 300 pounds, 6'5", big body.
Jorge, nothing but love and compliments for you. Don't take the nickname the wrong way.
Snapper infraction, 5 yards.
Apollo's getting exhausted out there. A lot of flags. And again, it's difficult for both sides when a team jumps to a big lead like this.
I think Apollo likes having the microphone on him. It's like Sunday in the NFL.
Well, he's having a good time. Well, he should. Again, it's Luna. Right up the gut. Terrific run inside the 30. What an effort by Ryan Luna. Boy, they don't drop off from Alcantara when they bring Luna in, do they?
These kids all run very, very hard. They're built in a way that you have to get low to bring them down. They hit contact, they lower their shoulder at the point of attack, and they make you really become a solid fundamental tackler, or you're not going to bring them down. If you don't drop your hips, if you don't keep low and keep leverage, play will go on forever.
Final 2.5 minutes of a scoreless third quarter. It's all Santa Paula. And their offense bogging down a little bit with some reserves in there.
False start, offense.
Randy, we've done all-star games together. You know how I get with these officials.
I know. But he's got to call what he sees, and you do have the backups in there, and they're going to make some miscues. I got to support him here.
I am supporting him. I'm helping him learn that fans want this thing to move, but I get it. He's doing his job.
Well, the last few penalties have been obvious. Difficulty with the handoff, and Luna gets buried. That's the kind of pursuit you want. Again, Polk was there, number 23, with great assistance from Kyle Darden, number 15.
For all intents and purposes, what you're seeing offensively with the backups, and they're not 11 backups in there, there's a handful of kids. They're probably on a par in terms of their experience level with this starting defense from Narbonne, but the difference is they're fresh. The Narbonne kids have the same experience level, but they're going both ways.
Well, there's better than 50 on the squad for Santa Paula, and there's 26 young men for the Gauchos. Luna, pile driving forward.
We were talking about the city section earlier, and we talked a little bit about the Western League, and you talked about competition for Birmingham, and honestly, King Drew's coming to the level where they should be that next person, not person, but squad to really take on Birmingham. The program elevates every year. Joe Torres does a phenomenal job. The kids are talented. I look for them to make a run in the Open this year because I do think they should win that league, although Crenshaw's showing some real fight and Dorsey's Dorsey.
And there's Carson and Banning and San Pedro in the Marine League. They're historically all very good.
There's a flag, by the way.
What a
Start
shot.
offense. 23.
I guess it was 23, huh? 23 would be Xavier Alcantara, one of those three young Alcantara young men. We're through three quarters, a scoreless third quarter. Narbonne played a lot better in that third stanza. Unfortunately, the Gauchos are down 34-0. Let's hear from the sponsors that made this presentation possible. Tonight's LA City Section football game of the week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita, How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports Medicine and Chiropractic, 818-508-6188. Aerial view here at Gaucho Stadium in Harbor City with Chuck Price. I'm Randy Rosenblum. Glad you're on hand. LA City Section Football. We're going to have a couple more games for you next week. And we'll move forward. We're going to take the schedule and work with it. We picked the game ahead of time, probably a couple days in advance. We might just have Garfield on next week. And if we do, there's another team out of the Eastern League. They got a player by the name of Cesar Reyes. Every week he's running for big yardage, making 10 or 12 tackles on defense. Cesar Reyes is one of the great ones. Look forward to seeing him play at Garfield. Looking forward to seeing the Bulldogs down the road on LA36.
Maybe we'll make that a flex game.
A flex game. We have a flex schedule. Luna.
Brought up a fourth down now. Let's get one solid defensive play to start the fourth.
Boy, Ryan Luna is really handling the football extensively here in the latter stages of the game. Number 28, hands on hips. A scoreless second half after Santa Paula really bolted to a big lead early. At 21 in a matter of minutes. Blocked punt. It was returned for a touchdown by Sebastian Mendez, who also caught a couple TDs. Amari Carveth had a 65-yard touchdown reception from Renee Vega, who tossed 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Timeout, Narbonne. A big fourth down for him. I'm glad he took the timeout. He didn't feel the kids were lined up properly, and that's a great use of a timeout.
Yeah, again, they're teachable moments. You want to learn. You know, you're not going to win the football game. We're not going to tell you the Gauchos are going to come back here and win it. But again, it's about getting better, trying to improve going forward. They're going to have a difficult slate. Certainly, they're going to play in the Marine League, and that's not easy.
Speaking of the Marine League, what about Brett Stye? To me, the gesture for somebody to say, I want to televise 3 to 4 years of LA City high school football is really a great thing. You give kids a chance to create a memory of a lifetime by saying, I played on TV. And I thank you. I thank your support. And I think that what you're doing for LA City football is a great first step for a lot of things, but especially for the group of us that live, eat, sleep, and drink LA City football.
Well, you can see the movement on the right side. That was quite obvious. Carlos Macias.
False start.
And in between plays, along those lines, is I feel that the leadership that the LA City Southern section gets from Vicky and navigating through these difficult, situations, she's done a great job. And I feel like the future of city football is great. It lies in the hands of the coaches. These are the guys we really need to take care of.
Yeah, Vicky does a wonderful job managing, overseeing the LA City section.
Snapper infraction, offense.
I think, Apollo, you can stop with that. Even if it's illegal, let it go at this point.
I'm having a hard time at this point.
But again, they're violations. And, again, you got a lot of reserves in there.
But it all started with that foul, the penalty that shouldn't have been called, and then it just opened the floodgates. So
no, the flag gates.
Yeah, it's bad.
You didn't like that?
No. The joke was great. The flags are bad.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're on the right page.
Come on, Herb Street's got your back over there, Fowler. Okay. We're good.
Okay.
4th and 23.
You doing play-by-play now or what?
Can I?
I don't know. Can you? Here's a run up the middle. Not going to quite pick up the necessary yardage. But again, Ryan Luna showcasing his skills. The ball's going over on downs, and the Gauchos will get it back. They've played Santa Paula to a scoreless second half.
where you want to be. It's a game that every play is a new game. Can you get better every play? Can you get better every quarter? And that's really how you have to teach these young men, because it's not just football, it's life.
It really is. And again, when we came in here, the people were so nice here at Narbonne High School in Harbor City. Good to see Vicki Sanders again, their outstanding women's basketball coach. He's up in the press box working the scoreboard tonight. Here's a nice run, twisting and turning. What an effort. Damian Gonzalez. Hopefully the young man's okay. A little bit exhausted, but you love the effort.
And again, you can see that. Yeah, it's when you look at the replay and you see your linemen just get enough of a push to move the D line, and then they move downfield looking for the second block. That's really what you're trying to teach these kids. Play to the whistle. Find the next body and another jersey.
You'd like to see the Gauchos rewarded here with a touchdown. You'd love to see that, because they've been hampered by penalties. Well, they might have scored already, but let's see what they can do here. Now they're on the other side. They're in plus territory to the 45. Vessel came to the sideline to get the play from the coaching staff, and you can see number 2 pop into the huddle. So glad you're with us on LA36. Fun football. The city is back. From the 45. Can Vessel get outside? He's determined. He got a couple. Well, he's taking his hits, though. He got the shoulder tackle from Diego Ornelas, who has over 20 tackles already this year. But I love the toughness of this quarterback.
The Marine League will be tough for him to navigate with this style of attack. It's a run-oriented conference, especially when it comes to the defensive work that's put in. San Pedro, coached by Corey Walsh, whose dad Bill, they're just legends there. They're great coaches. They're rock solid. The program is a neighborhood school that just thrives on its success and tradition. Love the work that they do.
Yeah, the Walshes do everything, and they do it well. Dad's still involved with everything over there, helping his son.
Yeah, Corey's got to love that. Remember when Jim Mora would see his dad show up at practice at UCLA, and you knew right off the bat Jim was, oh, why is my dad here?
Yeah. By the way, I mentioned Cesar Reyes last week. How about this? He had, for Garfield, 142 yards and 5 touchdowns, plus 12 tackles and a pick when they knocked off Kennedy. Now, they also lost in recent weeks to Banning by 1 point. But that kid, we're going to see him on LA36. Cesar Reyes, what a player he is.
So we're not going to flex that game.
No, we got to keep him on the schedule. Reversing his field is Vessel. Breaks a tackle. Flag is out. Legal block as he was coming downfield, and that was kind of obvious.
I think that was clearly a block in the back. Had he blocked him, I don't even think he touched him. You could see it coming, but did he hit him, or did the guy just fall over? Here we go. No, he fell over. That was no block in the back. The intent was there, but he didn't get him.
Ticky-tack.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
There was some contact.
That wasn't even an NBA foul.
Again, I feel bad for Vessel, because every time he turns it upfield and gets a nice gain, it's
when people watch high school football games, to tell you the truth, they're not used to having somebody be critical. And sometimes critical is okay. If I could help somebody become better next week, why not be critical? I think my hat's off to them for the job that they do. We're not playing this game without them.
Vessel again. Let's see if he can create some running room. Boy, did he take a pop. Diego Ornelas again, 32. Got a nice lick in there on the quarterback. There's 32. He's been underneath the pile a few times tonight.
That's our quarterback.
I hope he's okay. He, again, has taken a lot of punishment tonight. And JJ's tough. Let's hope he's going to be all right. We'll Hear from our sponsors who made tonight's game possible. Tonight's LA City Section football game of the week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports Medicine and Chiropractic. 818-508-6188. The view is beautiful. Underneath the view, though, JJ's still down, and we wish him well, and they're checking him out. That's the problem when you have the quarterback carrying the ball that often. He's going to take some hits.
Unfortunately, he doesn't go down easy, so he takes more hits than he needs to. I've been nothing but complimentary about Coach Bledsoe, and I'm not going to stop now, because I think you have to fight to the finish. I think you need to put one in the end zone. So you might hear somebody say, well, why is he getting his quarterback hit? Why this and that? This is their identity. This is who they are. And you've got 6.5, 7 minutes left against a good football team. Let's get ready for week 1 in the Marine League. He got hurt, and that's part of football. I think he's going to pop up. I think he's going to be fine.
Beautiful night in Harbor City. By the way, you noticed on that view of the sideline when we were panning that sideline on the Narbonne side of the field, number 16. That's the quarterback that was injured. He was on the crutches. That's Aiden Garcia. And again, J.J. Vessel was the running back, and they moved him to quarterback. He got in there last week and started to play some quarterback after Garcia was injured, so he's picked up nicely. What I've liked about what JJ has done tonight, obviously he's run the ball when he's had an opportunity, but he hasn't turned it over. No interceptions because they have not thrown a lot, but he hasn't fumbled.
No, he's protected the ball, something that you have to do at that position. There he's getting up, and that's great to see. As you pan the sidelines, there's a player under the tent. There's 2 on the bench. There's 1 on crutches. There's probably 8 bodies at this point that can go into the game. He's being helped off. It's a leg thing, but my early indication is he's sitting out a few practices. They've got a bye week coming up. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, takes the helmet off. I think there's a lot of disappointment here. He is walking nicely now, and he just got his bell rung, I think. So he's going to come into the tent and check him out. But I think all in all, best case scenario as he came to the sideline. He looks to be fairly healthy. Back to the ball game.
Well, it's 4th down. We get to see Prince in punt formation. And again, he doesn't get rid of it that quickly. A bad snap's going to cause him a problem. My concern is the guys hustling downfield and covering.
Juju Gomez back deep. Number 15 in white for Santa Paula. And the Prince to deliver it. It's a little bit better job. This is Juju Gomez. Running wide. And a nice effort outside the 35.
Heck of a punt. Nice return. Great coverage. Great coverage. The pursuit angles that these kids took on that punt return was really nice. Nice work. It was great to see how they moved across the field, the angles that they took, and quite frankly, that was a 25-yard return, and it could have been a lot longer.
Yeah, Mike Montoya has to be pleased with his team's effort tonight. You come to a stadium, you're delayed, you had a couple traffic accidents, takes 3 hours, and they come out and they make a statement early and have never looked back. So he has to be thrilled with the way his group has performed.
They're a hard-nosed football team. They're well coached. The bus ride was to their advantage today.
Handoff, first carry of the night for Derek Andrade, another sophomore, number 31. Also plays a little outside linebacker. So the guys.
Randy, who's the best high school football player you've ever seen in the LA City? Pick the one player.
Well, I guess who I saw personally, Anthony Davis maybe at San Fernando. Charles White also at San Fernando. I saw them in the early days.
DeAnthony Thomas at Crenshaw.
He's a great player, no question about it.
He is the most electrifying player I've ever seen, and he was just different. He had a different gear, and
I'm going to give you another one who's going to surprise you. When I saw him again, I was just starting out. Jeff Fisher at Taft, going all the way back. Of course, he ended up eventually being the Rams head football coach anyway, SC, the whole bit. But he was a tremendous player in high school as a wide receiver DB. We're throwing out some names here in the city section.
Dana Potter.
I love Dana Potter at Granada Hills. Arguably one of the nicest guys out of the city section.
Did you ever see Mike Garrett play at Roosevelt?
No, I didn't see Mike play at Roosevelt. Obviously, he's one of the fabled names. Went on to be a great star at USC.
Speaking of Crenshaw, the job Garrett does with that program.
Robert Garrett.
The G-man going for the 300th win.
Timeout official.
300th win. Nobody's going to catch him anyways. He's the all-time winningest coach, and being raised on the sidelines at Crenshaw High School when there was dirt, grass, no lights, seeing what it's like to win at Crenshaw High School, the difficulty, the task, what he's done at that school is amazing. The consistency with which he's done it, the starting the season with 14 kids on a roster, miraculously getting through.
Unfortunately, we're seeing one of our officials limping off or trying to get off. Looks like he may have hurt his back the way he's walking off there. We're going to take another look at that play and see how this gentleman was.
I believe we're going to get a look at what happened on that.
Simple play right into the middle of the line. He got clipped from behind. I do think it's his back. Accidentally got hit. And then he's hobbled. He is hobbled at that stage. It's not an easy job. I know at times, Chuck, you've been critical of these guys, but it is not an easy job. And you'd never like to see this.
Never. I'm not happy to see it.
He needs a chiropractor.
You're saying back, huh?
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Could be side. Kids are thrilled to be on Santa Paula. They're excited. They're leading. They know where the camera is. Number 2 there is Dominic Mesa. 13 is his brother Ethan. They're having a good time. Cards have had a great night. We'll assume here in a moment. And not a lot of intrigue in the final outcome. We knew it at the break. It was over by halftime. But still, the Gauchos have really fought hard in the second half. Andrade running, and he's punctured. I mean, he was hit hard. That was great form tackling on the outside as Derek Andrade took that delivery. And another player is down. And
this is, I hate to say it, you're down to 4 refs. You got a Gaucho down. It probably no sense to go much further with this game. These kids have a 2-hour bus ride back. And in all fairness, if you said, hey, can we stop this game? There's probably not one person in the stadium that says, no, let's keep going.
Well, we're down to 4.5 minutes left anyway, and the outcome is over. And again, you have exhausted players from the Gauchos that came here with 26 guys and lost 3 or 4 throughout the night. So they're nearing about 20 guys that are able-bodied. So there's just not a lot of energy left in those bodies because they've been going both ways. So very difficult job at this point. Boy, are they going to need that bye week. And you got to feel bad for the kids at Narbonne. Again, the future will get better here. Doug Bledsoe will get it done. but it's going to take some time, and they just ran into a buzzsaw by the name of Santa Paula tonight, and all the kids paying their respect to the Gaucho that is sitting up and appears to be okay. But again, I think this is exhaustion at this point. Hear the noise, some cheers for young man coming off. And again, another injury to the green and white. And unfortunately it is now. It looks like it is the leg. Maybe it was wishful thinking, and it was just, he was out of breath and couldn't return to action, but it is a leg injury apparently.
Did you get a number, Randy?
Well, they're taking him to the sideline with those green uniforms. When they go into the middle like that and they go to the ground, it's hard to pick up.
That's our D tackle. That's the big kid, 54.
Well, he's had some trouble before. That's John Talimatil. So hopefully he'll be okay. They'll stretch him out. Hopefully it's a leg cramp, and that's why he was limping off.
No, they're paying attention to the referee's leg, not his back. I'd love to see the attention at this point at least given to the kid.
All right, back to action. Cardinals punting it away. Very favorable roll, and it'll go inside the 20. So the clock is down to 3:53. We'd like to see the Gauchos somehow get on the scoreboard. Don't know that we'll see J.J. Vessel come back. He was dinged up the last time. I don't know that you want to bring him back out there. You're not going to bring him back.
He's taking his pads off. This will be the first snap that they actually take with a new quarterback. It'll be interesting to see what they do. And again, they've got 9 or 10 bodies on the sidelines that are able to go in. Not a lot to gain at this point, although you do have a chance to get a backup quarterback some snaps.
Yeah, you want to get the backup some repetitions anyway. It looks like the backup is Damian Gonzalez. Number 20 is going to run the show. A little wildcat.
They won't lose much at this point. They really won't. It'll give them a chance to look at another running back.
Well, he's a wildcat running back, and Damian Gonzalez crosses the 20. Don't know that we're going to see anybody calling timeout, so this clock should move forward pretty rapidly. There is no 2-minute timeout like there is in college and pro football at the prep level. And the Gauchos, they can take some solace into the fact that they hadn't been scored on in the second half, and they've played Santa Paula to a scoreless battle.
I love the fact that they fought hard from the time they were down 34 points. They did things on each play. They did things as the game moved on. That tells you these kids are fighting. They're hard. They're hardworking. They've been taught.
Outside, a beautiful run, and here's a chance down the sideline. Fans on their feet. All the way in.
That's how you finish.
Great run, Ladd. Jamari Ladd.
That's just great to see. Unbelievable that this team could fight through what they've done, get on the board, avoid the shutout. The emotion that they'll carry from that run when they see it on film will carry them. That was a beautifully executed play because it's done with a kid who's probably taken 3 snaps in a football game in his whole life at quarterback.
And he handed it off to Jamari Ladd, and Ladd did the work. You're right. Fans having something to celebrate. It's great to see that the Gauchos get on the board, huffing and puffing, but very excited is Jamari Ladd. I think we might have a 2-point try here, Chuck. I think that's in order.
How many carries did Jamari Ladd have before that carry, do you think, Randy?
Oh, I think he's had a few. He's been one of the guys in the backfield that's
that
produced. Damian Gonzalez has been the number 1 guy, but
he had a burst on that play.
Yeah, that looked great there. They go for the 2. Let's see if they can knock it in. And here's Gonzalez getting outside. He's in for 2 more. Here come the Gauchos. A little bit too late, but they're having some fun. Damian Gonzalez with 2.
This is exactly why you play, you teach, you bring in backups. When I watch what happened on those last 3 or 4 plays, they've got the versatility in that backfield to really deceive football teams coming forward as to who's going to carry the ball. The zone read with 3 running backs. Look at this. Everybody comes with Ladd, and when he turns upfield, it's a different gear.
You can
Different
see
gear.
the burst, the great speed. Again, Bledsoe told us at the beginning of the show he's the fastest guy on the team. So if he's going to get an opening, Jamari Ladd's going to get it done.
And that's a quality football player. And as a senior, it's going to take his leadership for these next 5 weeks. That's a kid who for sure will play in the LA City Gridiron Classic All-Star game that you and I have called, that the Chargers sponsor, that really ties it all together to give kids the same opportunity for something special, just like a game like this on TV.
Well, 34-8 doesn't sound too bad after the way this thing started. Good to see the Gauchos score, get rewarded for some of those long runs again, and a couple of them called back, and we wish J.J. Vessel the best. He seems to be okay on the sideline, but it's been a tough night at the office, certainly for the Narbonne Gauchos. But again, it's really refreshing to see them fight to the finish line and get the 6 plus the 2. And they get 8 on the board with 2:24 left. Hey, it looks like we almost had one in the field of play.
We did.
And it rolls into the end zone. That's a first.
The Prince drove one through the end zone.
How about that? We've seen all kickoffs go to the outside and over the boundary and be penalized down to the 35. That time, the Prince got it, as you noted, all the way down the field.
Well, we've got the Prince, we've got the Eclipse, and obviously Jamari Ladd. Wheels. He's hot
speed.
wheels. Yeah, he's wheels.
He's wheels. I want to commend also Mike Montoya, the coach over at Santa Paula. He knew when to bring in the second string, the third stringers, the other units, and not try to pile it on.
You can't teach class,
Yeah,
and
he
he's got it.
Yeah, he does.
You can see the way his kids play, where they get it from, and speaking to him during the week and before the game. Absolutely.
And they're just trying to run the clock out. They're not looking to go up top and throw the football. And that's what they're doing. They're just burning the mechanical monster. Wearing it down as Andre, number 31, gets another opportunity to carry the football. And he was tackled in the middle by Kyle Darden.
You know, we hit the 2-minute mark. There's no 2-minute warning. But again, you know, Randy, when we right LA36, this is an LA City broadcast, and that's who we're here for. And when we look at Narbonne, who we're covering, you see them not only continue to play hard and to the whistle, sometimes beyond the whistle. Oop.
It's getting a little testy out there, to say the least.
Yeah.
Long conversation there with Apollo Martin and Kim Bly.
Personal foul. 5 white and 18 black.
Sebastian
Offset.
Mendez, that's the guy from Santa Paula, but you probably know that by now with all his touchdowns. He was in the middle of that fracas.
And finishing up on that thought, because we're at a minute 26, I think Doug Bledsoe will get this program back. I think they'll be super competitive in the Marine League. But I'll tell you why, because he's got a principal like Andrew Kasich, an athletic director like Yair Sanchez. Those are all former football coaches. They understand what it takes. They're just a different breed of administrator. Those who know what building football programs and working with these young men is all about.
And he's got players that can perform too. That was Maury Polk again, 23, and he is relentless on defense. We've talked a lot tonight about John Talley-Mattil, who's probably their best defensive player. But Polk, again, is another one of those guys that's all out all the time.
He's Marine League tough. He's a guy that shows up. You know, they play games on these old turf, natural turf fields, grass, dirt, whatever we call it. That's football. He's the guy who comes off the field at the end of the game and there's mud and dirt in every crevice of his body.
Final half minute here in Harbor City. No one eager to take a snap. Looks like we're going to run it all the way down. And it's going to be a 34-8 tally for Santa Paula for the Cardinals. We're can improve. They
Delay
can
a
take the
game.
delay
Offense.
with 5 seconds left.
Apollo going out on top. Not going to let that opportunity
Well,
go
the
by.
clock's running out.
He's going to march it off before we go home.
Nope, they've run the clock out. There's triple zeros up there, so it's over. Final is 34-8. What a great performance from Santa Paula. And hey, the kids from Narbonne actually ended up winning the second half, 8-0. Really great to see these young men perform here tonight on LA36.
Brett Stye, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to allow us to pay honor to these kids.
And again, tonight's LA City Section Football Game of the Week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method for the best physical sports medicine with personalized approach. It's definitely sports medicine and chiropractic. 818-508-6188. Well, some highlights tonight. And here, obviously, number 3, Early Vega, teeing up the long ball. And he got his man, number 5, Sebastian Mendez.
Just well, and here's how we close the highlights.
Yeah, that's the jet speed of number 25, Jamari Ladd.
Randy, this was a lot of fun. This was a great way to open the season for us. Get our preseason game in as we go down the stretch. But, yeah, I think for Narbonne, the future is bright. I think they'll get better every game. I think these kids showed the fight.
That's going to wrap it up. We appreciate you viewing our LA City Section game, won by Santa Paula, 34-8 over the Gauchos of Narbonne. For our entire LA36 crew and for Chuck Price, I'm Randy Rosenblum. So long from Harbor City. We'll see you next week with more LA City Section football. Good night, everybody.